Aaron Marinello, Frank Malicote, Mike Wancombe, and Mike Rattay. The 10 o'clock news on Boston's WB.
Everywhere you look these days, there's another poker tournament somewhere. Well, in the gambling capital of the world in Las Vegas, they decided to take it one step further. Mike Rattay here now with more.
Yes, Karen, you know what they say. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. However, 10,000 feet, all bets are off, right? Especially at this poker table. Take a look. It's the Extreme Poker Challenge, and guess what? Losers leap. Some of the top players in the country took their chips to the sky yesterday in preparation for the start of the World Series of Poker. Now, here's the deal. You run out of chips, they send you flying out the door quickly, and the parachute becomes your best friend. Object of the game, last person on the plane wins, and they get a nice trophy along with it, too. Tell all your friends about it, right? Tonight's winning combination.
CNN Headline News, 24/7.
And talk about high stakes, and of course we mean that literally, as in 15,000 feet high. 3 amateur poker players and a would-be pro got on a plane outside Las Vegas and played poker yesterday. Whoever won didn't have to parachute out of the plane, but the losers did. It was part of Interpoker.com's Extreme Poker Series and was scheduled during the World Series of Poker tournament, which began June 25th. As promised, the losers jumped. And the winner decided to take a leap anyway and went back for a free jump. Actually,
so that's the bluff?
Yeah, if you
jump. Okay, I'm going to jump now.
If you won, you actually won a parachute to jump with, actually. We've got more headline news on the way.
You're watching CBS 2 News this morning.
And finally this morning, the poker craze in this country has reached new heights, literally. Yesterday, poker pros like Phil Lack and Antonio Esfandiari took part in an Extreme Poker Challenge. They played on a plane 10,000 feet in the air. Standard rules apply with one twist. When you're out of chips, you not only have to leave the table, but you have to leave the airplane. That's right, you have to parachute out. Basically, your chips aren't the only things on the line.
Wow.
That's Extreme Poker.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, who thought of that?
That's fun. Where do I sign up?
Yeah.
Please.
You're really
a little dangerous.
I'd have to retire before I start. You know? Thank you, Deuce.
Thank you, Deuces. Let's check in with the early show now. And speaking of card games, there was a new wrinkle on the Sky's the Limit poker. 4 players pile into a plane to fly over the desert outside of Las Vegas on Wednesday. The 3 losers had to skydive and jump, while the winner was able to land very nicely at the airport. Now, the stunt was part of the Interpoker.com's Extreme Poker Series at the World Series of Poker tournament. That's some high stakes right there. There is a chance to make some big bucks, though, playing pool, a brand new pool tour.
Now, live from WUSA 9. This is 9 News at 11.
Finally, if you're like much of America that's been swept up by the poker craze, maybe you've got a Friday night game with a $20 buy-in, and when you run out of chips, you sit around with the fellas and watch a little TV. But at least you don't get thrown out of an airplane, which is what they do in this poker game. The Extreme Poker Challenge takes place in an airplane, flying 10,000 feet above the Vegas Strip. And when you run out of money, you don't just get up and leave the table. You take the loser's leap, as they call it, right out of the back of the plane. Thankfully, there is a parachute involved. And, you know, we checked. If you're the last player, you win. That's not including the pilot, because otherwise he would always win, because he's,
You know what you don't do in that game?
What's that?
Cheat.
Yes, because then they take the parachute away, and then it's not so much fun.
You're on your own. Well, still to come tonight to the...
From terra firma, or as firm as anything can be at the table in Vegas, to the extremes of poker. Now, in the past, the Extreme Poker Challenge has been contested underwater in the Caribbean and on the polar ice cap in Finland. This time around, well, they call the competition Loser's Leap. Buckle up with Jeremy Schaap to see what does go down literally when your chips are gone.
It was a typical Texas Hold'em poker tournament. But as the participants learned in their pre-tournament briefing, losing all your chips could mean losing all your chips. For one poker professional and 4 amateurs, it was poker to the extreme. You lose, you jump.
extra incentive to do well in the poker tournament.
Pull those nicks up.
This game would take place at 15,000 feet. Its participants battling each other as well as the conditions.
It's like 115 degrees in the plane. They're opening up the back, so you better make sure you have your seatbelt on because, you know, heaven forbid there's some turbulence.
It's just a bizarre place to play poker. I can't, it's just strange all round.
Protect your cards at all times, so they'll blow out of your hand. Other than that, then everything's poker like you'd expect it.
The first to go, amateur Patrick Neary.
It was nerve-wracking. You're so high up, and first time ever doing it. But no, I would actually do it again. I liked it that much.
But it's another amateur, Nick Brugine, who begins to take control of the game, beating the pro, Phil Lack.
Nick is controlling everything up there. Nick has all the chips. He's going to be sending them down.
That hand sent Fraser Linkletter out for his 15,000-foot jump, leaving the final two to refuel and battle it out.
Nicholas is winning. He's at least got twice the amount of chips, so I think he's looking pretty good.
A pair of sixes locks up the championship.
I was actually focused more on losing a poker tournament than jumping out of the plane at that point. It puts a lot more pressure on you knowing like the other guys in the plane right now laughing, you won, you didn't jump.
I was happy not to be the first one. I was happy to get a lot of chips and watch Phil Lack have to be the second one to jump off. And I've taken off and landed twice and have not had to skydive yet, which my wife will be happy about.
Poker's fun. Jumping out of airplanes is fun. When you combine the two, it's the most fun you can have with the clothes on.
2 days after Nick won Loser's Leap, he bought into the World Series of Poker. And of nearly 9,000 players, he finished 941st. Now, Phil Lack, who makes his living playing poker, also bought into the World Series after his 15,000-foot drop. He was busted, eliminated in day one.